What's up, party people? Today, I want to show you my Eurorack radio sampler. Now, this guy is completely portable. This is USB battery powered, so I just bring a battery pack with me, and I can sample the radio wherever I go. Now, this is V1. Eventually, there will be a V2 and a V3. I'll keep adding to this, and as you can see, I still have more room for modules in this little case. But this guy is super fun. So today, I kind of wanted to walk you through what each of the modules do, why I chose them, and kind of like my sampling methodology with this piece, and just kind of have some really cool fun with it. And get excited, because we've got arcade buttons. And whenever you can see arcade buttons, you know it's going to be fun. All right, so please like this video if you like it, give me a subscribe, and let's dive in to the Eurorack Modular. Okay, I know I just said Eurorack Modular, and that's not technically correct. This is a Eurorack module device, or a Eurorack containment device. It's a Eurorack case with a bunch of modules in it. I'm not good with words. Anyways, this is the sampler. I love this guy. It is one of the coolest things in the world. I also love the color scheme I chose, black and yellow and gold. It all just kind of happened to work out that way. So let's go through each module real quick and kind of explain what each one does, and I'll put them into the patch so you can kind of hear it as we go. So the first one here is going to be the ST radio module. Now, if I plug this in to the input here of the Eurorack Pico out device. Oh, that's loud. Let's turn this down a little bit. Awesome. So now we've got some samples. I'm not going to let that ride along because I don't want to get copyright infringement, but basically we have radio going into the output device now. So real quick, I'm just going to scan through some channels and try to find something that's like radio or commercial or something like that. We got some static noise there. Oh, this is gonna be great to sample. All right, so that's what we're gonna try to sample that song while it's playing. Next, we're gonna go into the BeepBoop Tape Sampler. Now, this is really cool. This is a sampler that's kind of developed off of some weird circuit. I don't know the exact terminology, but check out BeepBoop on Etsy. He makes some great cool stuff, and he helped me with this guy, answering me some questions. I also got one of his little panels here to give you guys a little shout out. The guy's great. He makes some really, or girl, I'm not sure to be honest with you, but they make great sample devices and Eurorack devices in general. So now I'm going to take this and plug this into the input of the tape sampler, and now I'm going to take the output of the tape sampler and I'm going to put it into the input of the output. So now we can hear it. And it sounds really grainy and lo-fi, right? Very like lo-fi, grainy. I love it. It just kind of already gives a little weird texture to the sounds. And what you can see is this big knob here in this mode controls a filter. So I got this cool little filter I can control. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch it to the middle mode here, and I'm gonna put the knob in the middle. And this middle mode is gonna allow me to record a loop, and the top mode is gonna allow me to hear the loop back. So now I'll just hold record for a couple seconds. 2, 3, 4, and stop. And now if I flip it to loop mode, we'll hear the loop we just recorded. And you can hear, I can immediately start speeding it up and turning it and or pitching it down, just like a normal tape sampler would be. That's super cool. Now it's not a perfect loop, but we'll get into why that's not important in just a second. But now we've got a really cool little loop playing back that we can kind of modulate and have fun with. I love this, I love this. I love this when something goes work right with this guy, because as you can imagine, sometimes finding radio waves is hard, sometimes you don't find the right sample. But yeah, so that's the tape sampler and the ST radio piece. Next, we're going to go into the MMF Filter from 2HP. Now, 2HP gets a lot of flack sometimes for not sounding the best, and sometimes, to be honest with you, some of their modules don't sound the best, and you can't find any modules that sound as good as these guys in the format I need. So don't hate on 2HP when you just need them to be 2HP in terms of size. So now I'm going to put this into the input here, and then I'm going to take, let's do the low pass output because that's one of my favorites. And I'm just going to turn the resonance all the way down at first and open up the filter all the way. And then I'm putting it into the input right here. Cool. And now I'm going to add to the filter down, add a little resonance, a little less. Super cool. Now interacting with the filter and the speed of the sample. Super cool, right? And then we kind of got this like disco vibey, like old school, maybe hip hop sample that we can do other things with. As you get faster, the timing kind of works out where you can actually, you can start to feel a beat out of it. Slow down. Super cool. Now, one thing to note is it's actually triggered by this light. So every time the light goes, that's when the sample will reset. So that's why there's always a little bit of pause in between. But again, I'll show you why that's not a big deal later. Let's just listen to the high pass real quick, because I like to high pass sample a lot. Super cool, right? It just sounds good. And finally, we have the band pass as well. I don't use this one nearly as much as I probably should. Kind of allows you to find that sweet spot of the sample, which is nice. Like right there, that's pretty cool. Cool. All right, I'm stoked for this sample because once we get into the Arcadian rhythm piece, I'm sorry, I have a little bit of a lisp. Once we get into that piece, it's gonna be really cool. So now I'm gonna take it and put it into the input of the reverb. And now we have a stereo module, right? So I can take the outputs of the reverb and put them into the input left and the input right to get some stereo. Super cool. Now automatically you can hear there's some space involved, right? Now I'm gonna actually go ahead and go back to the low pass output on this 2 HP guy. And you can already hear how cool this sounds. Sounds beautiful. I love it. It's so amazing. Now, one thing to note here is there is limited power. As I said, this is USB powered right here. So you can see it's right there. And I've got this going into a USB brick on the bottom here. And the reason why this is so important to talk about is because these guys, all these modules don't take up a lot of power. I'm not super specific on power consumption and power needs for Eurorack. I don't know anything about that. But at least I know that this works, and I've just done a lot of testing. So now let's go ahead and hear it one more time. I'm going to put the back in a loop mode here. And now we're just going to play around with some things. How cool is that? That sounded so cool. I love that. I love it, love it, love it, love it. Good thing I'm recording all this so I can sample this later. So that's all the pieces I use in terms of getting just immediate sound out of it. Now, how I can modulate the sound even further is this Arcadian Rhythms. It's like an arcade button unit. I can't remember the exact name. Oh, but by the way, all these smaller developers that I've talked about, like ST Electronics, BeepBoop, and Arcadian Rhythms by Synthrotek, that's the company that makes Arcadian Rhythms. I'm gonna put them down in the description. Please check out their stuff. They're all small, but they're great. They're absolutely amazing, amazing companies. Actually, I don't know about ST Electronics. They could be huge. All I know is I had to have somebody build this for me because they don't make it pre-assembled, and I don't know how to solder or anything. So now, out of the Arcadian Rhythms, I'm gonna take in the one output, which is, I believe, just going to be sending a gate, I believe. And I'm going to put that into the gate input on the tape sampler. And now, uh-oh. Now everything's a rhythm. Now we can do whatever we want with it. So I'm going to try and take the reverb down here all the way down here. Open up the filter a little bit. Now this is why I said earlier the perfect loop doesn't matter, because I'm controlling the loop now with the Arcadian Rhythm button, and I can make it any beat I want. Isn't that so cool? I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. This thing is awesome. And honestly, it probably could have done something smaller than this or just got one of the one button things, but I love the 3 buttons because eventually I can grow with this, but it just feels so good. Like, these feel great. And I got to pick the colors. I picked black and yellow to match the black and gold kind of thing I'm going for here. Cool, let's put the reverb back on here. So slower, it's a little harder to control, but faster. So cool, right? I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay, so that was one sample. Let's do one more quick sample now that we have the whole setup all ready to go. So I'm just going to turn the reverb all the way down, open the filter back up, turn the resonance down, yada, yada, yada. And now we're going to put it into the FT mode, which allows us to hear the radio module. All right, so it sounds like we're getting some static now. Let's just try this real quick. So I'm just going to record here. This is a good, whatever radio station this is, got some good stuff. So a lot of static on this guy now. So let's go ahead and reset the radio module. And now I'm just going to go ahead and channel up and down until I hear something usable. Now this is an auto scan on the FM radio module, which is really cool. Or I think it's just called radio, SD radio. And let's see, I'm going to try a couple more things. Let's try resetting going back down. Maybe there's something there. Takes a while to catch up because it is scanning radio, just like, you know, old FM radio in your car would do. Okay, so I'm not finding anything. So what I'll do now is I'll show you how I just sampled white noise. Or cool, like, it's not really white noise because it's static, so I kind of like that. It has a little bit of texture. So I'll go ahead and just hit record here for a second, and then I'll loop it. Cool, and that right there, that could be the start of a beat right there. Add some filter. Add some reverb, a lot of reverb here. How cool is that? Let's darken it up, I make it really slow. So we make space sounds with this all day, right? That is so neat, so cool. Now the last thing I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put it back into the trigger mode or the gate mode. Now I have a cool little pitch. Now a lot of that pitch is coming from the sampler. That'd be a super cool, like, house song right there. Boom, 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 boom. I guess like more like less like kind of like Baltimore Beat Jersey Club kind of thing. But yeah, that's this guy in a nutshell. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I said earlier it's V1 because I have plenty of room. This all uses a flying ribbon cable. By the way, I got off Reverb. I cannot tell you who makes this. Maybe in the description I'll put down where the person I bought it from, who he said he got it from, but I can't find another one like this. I know you can find some battery powered things from like, I think 2HP makes like a lunchbox thing that can be battery powered. Check out Sweetwater in general. They may actually be able to tell you exactly where to get a battery powered Eurorack case. I'm not sure. But I love this guy. Like I said, room to grow. And I'm looking to put in like some, there's like a Pico DSP by Erica Synths module that can allow me to do more effects, which I'm always looking for more effects in this guy. I just need things that can do a lot in a small format that don't take a lot of battery power. So the next step for this guy is actually, I'm probably going to take it apart. And in a new video, I'm going to show you how I'm going to do a new type of module, or I might just get a new case and keep this as is. I'm not sure, but I want to do something more with like Arcadian Rhythms and kind of have something completely contained that can also sync to my MPC Live too. So more on that to come. So I hope you guys like this video. Thank you so much for checking it out. Please like if you like this video, please comment if you have any questions, and please subscribe if you like my vibe, trying to grow my fan base. Really appreciate you guys stopping by and checking out Brent Does Music. I'm Brent Waters, signing out. Peace. See me.